and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to share with you all something kind of fun. Now whenever I'm traveling, I'm always looking for more efficient ways for me to be able to function, all the while driving around the world basically out of my trunk. So one of the things that I have found is a lot of times I don't have accessibility to tons of power and I can't just plug in at my own convenience. So I thought, what better way to address some of this problem than to work with the dirt and a company called MPOWERD. They specialize in solar lamps and solar lights, and today they have sent me this, the solar powered string lights by Luci and MPOWERD. And I'm really excited. We're gonna put this through a full gauntlet of tests. We're gonna see if it really would work for us, not only on the road, but if it has any other uses also. And I don't know, maybe we'll find something that's gonna definitely go in the go kit from now on. A solar string light set, which means that it's going to have a small solar panel that you can leave outside and let it charge up. However, I did notice that in addition to that, right here on the back, it also states that there is actually a USB charger, so you can plug it in as you're going down the road or at home before you go on an adventure. This could be very handy, especially if you're using this just as an at-home kind of thing, or if you're in an area that has very limited sun coverage but still needs some lights. So inside this little box right here, it opens up, and right in this front panel we have a photo of what it's going to look like when these lights are actually in use. That's kind of nice looking. I mean, it's very easy to see that these lights are going to be a little bit smaller because between this and this, obviously you can't have giant bulbs. It's just not going to happen. So I'm really interested to see how much light they actually put out. Then we can open this up very easily right here, and inside we have the actual unit. The actual unit is a little circular device like this. It does have this nice hanger on it. So I could see this being extremely useful if you're hanging your lights from a tree. You could just put it onto a branch. You could also have tent stakes or something like that to secure it. It makes it super easy to use though. On the top we have a solar panel, and the solar panel is just a very small square panel. There also appears to be a light on the top right here on this main portion, and it looks as though there are 4 power lights as well to display the level of power that is available. As we move to the front, we have 2 small buttons, one of which is for the powering on of the device, the other of which is for charging your cell phone. If you do want to plug in a device like your cell phone or your iPad, you can do so and use this as a secondary charging device. So that is super helpful. Now, as we look at the actual device itself, again, it is a nice circular form, and there are 2 arrows right here. We push down and turn, and then it opens up. Once it opens up, we're able to fully access the light string and also see right there on that end the USB port. Now, I would like to mention that you do have several settings, again, accessible by this power button right here. The first of which is the light feature. This can be used in your tent as a random light source so that you could see around, or you could use this as like a flashlight. You can also use the string lights in the low power setting, the second power setting, or the third power setting. And you'll notice that with each one of them, they get a little bit brighter. So now that we have this completely unwound, let's talk about a few of the specs. This is a really fun light and it has a lot of different features. Now you can charge this for 4 to 6 hours on a USB and achieve maximum charge. However, it is going to take a little bit longer if you're doing this in the sun. It can take up to 16 hours to reach the same full charge. So what I'd probably recommend would be taking this little USB, plugging it in before you leave the house, get to maximum charge, and then along the way, as you're needing additional charge, leave it face up in some direct sunlight. This can be used in temperatures from 32 degrees up to 113 degrees. So pretty much any conditions that an average person would be camping in, this is going to work. But you could also see this being extremely useful in your yard as long as you are kind of regulated between those temperatures. This would be a great way to illuminate a patio, and I actually did that, so I'm going to share my experience with illuminating our patio and just how well it truly worked. Another couple of specs about this are when it is fully collapsed, it is only about 2 inches tall and it is 5 inches across. So nice and compact. It can fit into your car if you're traveling extremely easily. You could even throw this under the seat without having any problems whatsoever. Last but not least, this thing is pretty lightweight. It is only about 11.3 ounces. Now, while camping, these lights come in handy for a lot of reasons. You can use it as an on-demand light like this, or you can actually switch over to power mode with this little green light right here and power up your cell phone or your musical device. You can also turn on the string lights inside and string them around the top part of your tent with some carabiners. And we have 3 different light modes. So as you can see, that one was 1. Then we have 2 and 3. It can get pretty bright in here. Definitely. Now let's talk about a few pros and cons of the MPOWERD LUCI solar-powered string lights. There weren't very many cons actually. The only thing that I really found was a definite con for me was the fact that when I have my campsite illuminated by all of these amazing lights and it's looking absolutely amazing around camp and I can see everything, I couldn't really see that much inside my tent. There are 20 of these little lights and they do 4 power modes. However, even in the brightest power mode with the barrier of the tent, I could only see a glimmer of the light. So I would probably want to either pick up another one of these or maybe one of the other lights that are provided by MPOWERD that are also solar based. These are all great options for camping, and I definitely think that having one of these is amazing, but it does have its downsides. The second thing that I would consider a semi-con, not really a huge one or a deal breaker, this particular string of lights, even with its 4 series of settings, can only get to a certain brightness. It does not compete with your traditional patio lights, so although it is a nice soft glow and it does illuminate the area, if you're wanting something that is going to be more of a traditional bulb, you're probably going to need something that does have that shore power. Last but not least, the only thing I can honestly say that would be absolutely a deal breaker with these lights is if you're in an area where you do not have access to direct sunlight and for some reason you do not have a USB charger. Now let's address the pros once again. I think that they're apparent throughout the entire video, but portability is a huge thing. Accessibility to sunlight for the average person is also a huge thing. Having light when you can't have shore power is a huge thing. And I forgot to even mention it's splash resistant. So while it is not completely waterproof, if you get a little bit of water on it, it's not going to be a deal breaker.
Okay guys, I know this is really weird, but I just found another use for the lights. I was out at my campsite and this little guy hopped up. So I'm using the lights right here to light it enough so I can do photography of him as he's hopping away from me. Oh my goodness, he's awesome.
It's also extremely easy to use. I mean, even just rolling it up or unrolling it, even a child could do this. All in all, I have been so satisfied getting to try these out, and I think that they're definitely going to be in my go kit going forward. So, thanks MPOWERD for enlightening me in so many new ways. And I hope that this has been helpful to you guys at home, and you also can be enlightened soon. Bye guys!